47 Meters Down is a new thriller that was supposed to come straight to DVD, but for some reason, it got a theatrical release. Aren't we the lucky ones? This movie stars Mandy Moore and Claire Holt, and these two play sisters who are on vacation with each other, who are trying to do a bunch of fun things because Mandy Moore recently broke up with someone because that person thought that she was boring. And one night they had dinner with two random dudes who are saying, hey, we operate the cage diving thing. You want to come with us and get in the cage and see a bunch of sharks? And Mandy Moore and Claire Holt think, hey, this is the perfect way to not think you, Mandy, are boring, so let's go do it. But of course, as soon as they get there, the rope snaps, the cage is now 47 meters down below the ocean, and there are tons of sharks surrounding them. Now, it might be coming off that I'm not a huge fan of the premise of this film. Actually, I sort of am. The whole claustrophobic, trapped in a cage, 47 meters below the boat and in the ocean, there's killer sharks everywhere. That actually has the potential to be a really fun thriller. In fact, last year, The Shallows, I wasn't too sure how that movie was going to turn out. It's kind of similar, a shark thriller movie, and I really enjoyed that movie. So I was thinking, they're kind of almost the same, so maybe 47 Meters Down, there's going to be something here to it. However, I did get really nervous when I found out the director was the guy who did The Other Side of the Door. Now, I didn't review this movie last year, but if you saw my worst list video, you will see that I gave it an honorable mention because it was pretty crappy. And I can say that the best part of this film are some aspects of the filmmaking. As I mentioned earlier, the premise is actually pretty neat. It's a neat idea that, done with a better director, better screenwriter, this movie actually could have turned out to be a really fun thriller that engaged audiences. Unfortunately, though, a lot of this movie comes crumbling down mainly because of the two main characters, Mandy Moore and Claire Holt. We're stuck with these two characters for the entire movie. You see a couple people up on the boat helping them out, and you hear their voices a couple times throughout when they're underwater, but these two really are the main focus of this film, and the setup with them trying to prove that Mandy Moore's boyfriend is wrong about her being boring, it's like, I don't really care if someone thinks you're boring. Maybe you are, actually. It's not like we really get that much time before they actually get into the cage to really get to know them or what their relationship is like as sisters. As sisters, they seem like perfectly, okay with each other. You'd think maybe there'd be some friction as far as, siblings, but no, there really isn't, and I thought that could have been an interesting thing to write in. There's friction between these sisters, but they're on vacation together. Anything to make these characters more interesting because you're stuck with them the whole time and pretty much all they're doing is panicking and just trying to swim hey, maybe we can get over there and reach something. And of course they're swimming really slowly and there's that fear, oh, maybe there's a shark nearby, hopefully it doesn't jump scare us. I would have just liked something more to their relationship, something more to their characters, so that when you're watching it, you're like, okay, they're in an obvious crappy situation, but I care about this situation because of them. Instead, all I really got out of the situations they're in was that, wow, this movie is well shot at times. The underwater part actually came across a little creepy when there weren't any sharks. Sometimes when the characters are just swimming and it's just a shot of their whole body swimming, trying to stay low, sometimes that actually built up some tension. I was actually, kind of gripping hold, okay, maybe this is going somewhere. The actual cage, getting unattached from the boat scene, that actually got my heart pounding a wee bit. But what doesn't help the tension building is that whenever the shark is going to show up, you know, because they set it up as a jump scare. There's literally a shot of just the dark sea, and you hear the girl breathing as she's trying to swim, and it stays the same shot out in the dark sea for about 20 seconds, and then eventually the shark came out. I saw this coming a mile away. You know what would have been great is if we just saw her body swimming and then all of a sudden we see the shark slowly coming up, but she didn't notice it. Instead, no, it's a jump scare shark. And even when the sharks jump out, somehow these ladies easily just avoid it by rolling, or there's that one famous shot in the trailer where they have the flare and they open it up, 3 sharks coming towards them. Guess what? They make it out of that scenario right there, that specific scenario. But how do they do it? Easy, just move out of the way quickly. Because humans underwater are faster than sharks, who live underwater, breathe underwater, and are specifically made to survive underwater. But I really didn't hate this movie for the majority of it. There are some things that actually had me on the edge, just a little bit filmmaking-wise. The characters could have been better, and the jump scares with the sharks are stupid. They are just dumb to just continuously go after them and then, oh, I missed because they moved. Like, that was stupid. But I honestly didn't really hate this movie until one thing is introduced, and in order to explain why I hate this, I have to go into some spoiler territory. So if you really care about The Shallows 47, just stop watching, I guess. But if you don't care, as I assume most of the people don't, then I'm just gonna keep going. There's one part where they lower down another breathing tank, and they tell Mandy Moore or Claire Holt, like, okay, you can switch this out with your other tank that's about to go empty, but you might hallucinate from it. And as soon as the captain of the boat said that, I was like, wait, are you actually going to have a scene of hallucination going on? And I was thinking, okay, there's two ways you can do this. You can piss off the audience by showing us things that are heart-pounding, sort of exciting, and then just trick us at the last minute. Or you can give us one very short, very minimal scene that shows off their hallucinations, but it's not a huge hindrance on the plot. They went with the piss-off way. Final spoiler warning here. At this point in the movie, Claire Holt has been taken off by a shark, but Mandy Moore thinks she hears her in her, like, little earpiece. So it's like, I'm gonna find you, and she does. They start swimming up. The shark is trying to bite at them, but they make it back onto the boat. Oh my god, they're safe. Mandy Moore is looking at a cut on her hand, and I was thinking, no, please, just have the movie end here. It's alright to end here, you know, but instead the blood just kind of swirls around, almost like it's still in water and it's moving around. I was like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. We cut back, Mandy Moore never left the cage. She was hallucinating, and the movie ends with the Coast Guard coming down to get her, and Claire Holt is still dead. And I was just like, really? The past, like, 10-15 minutes that you made us watch and made us think that this is the finale of the movie just didn't happen, and instead, something more simple happened to rescue her. That is a really big slap to the face to the people who actually came to see the movie. If you had ended it with her just drowning underwater, then that would have been slightly more forgiving, but it's just you had to follow that up with, don't worry, Mandy Moore's okay, but Claire Holt's still dead. Like, just kill Mandy Moore, okay? Like I said earlier, if a different director like the guy who did The Shallows came onto here, I have a feeling they would have made the characters more interesting, the scenes would have actually had more tension to them, you might have actually been really scared of the sharks because they didn't just miss every time. There is potential here, and there are some parts of this movie that I can forgive, and I was originally going to give this movie a C-, but with that twist that they did, I had to lower my grade. I'm gonna give 47 Meters Down a D+. I can understand why this was originally supposed to go straight to DVD. I wish it stayed straight to DVD, because then I wouldn't have to review it as an actual theatrical released film. It really wasn't worth getting released in theaters. There's nothing really here interesting, just there's some parts where the shots of underwater are kind of creepy, and it's short. If you decided to watch it, it would be over with very soon. But if you've seen 47 Meters Down, leave in the comments below what you thought of it. And I haven't been able to see War for the Planet of the Apes yet. I will have to wait a couple days until I see it, but the review will come nonetheless eventually. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe. I'm Jackson Fulcher. See you guys next time.